Welcome. Lovely to see all your smiling faces. Welcome to this group meditation and talk online. The talk today is going to be on understanding your health through understanding your energy body. So just a brief outline of what we're going to do this evening. And I'm very aware that we want to stop at 8 because we need to go and clap our support for our NHS workers. So we will do that. We can always come back to it after 8 if you've still got questions. So what we're going to do is I'll give a little talk for about 20 minutes, and then we'll come together in a group meditation. Then we'll stop for the NHS support clapping, and then we'll come back, and if you've got any questions or you want to chat or talk about, you know, what we've been discussing. So let's get started. So when I talk about your energy body, what do I mean? Sometimes called the etheric body. Sometimes people will refer to it as your aura. Science is starting to measure it now as an electromagnetic field around people, around all living things. Some people who are quite psychic can see energy bodies. What it is it's subtle energy. So it's energy that surrounds your body and interpenetrates the physical body at certain locations. So it's a subtle energy. In yoga we call it prana, but it's also called chi, it's called ki. It's been referred to in many ancient cultures. So it's energy that comes originally from the sun, but it's not something we can normally see, but it's what gives us our essential vitality. So you could think of it as the life force energy. So this energy surrounds you and it comes into your body through specific energy centers called chakras. So these are like whirling vortices that allow a certain amount of energy in at certain points in your body. And depending where you are on your sort of spiritual development will depend how much energy they allow into your whole system. So the idea is as people progress along a spiritual path, they are able to bring in more and more of this subtle energy. And it's related to their soul development, their connection to a higher aspect of them. So what it does is it comes in through, we have 7 major chakras. So we have the crown, Sahasrara, we've got Ajna here, we've got Visuddhi here, we've got Anahata, the heart. At your solar plexus, we have Manipura, then we have around your navel, we've got Swadhisthana, and then the very base of your spine, we have Muladhara, the base chakra. So these are the 7 major centers, but there's something like 49 in total. There's centers all through your body. There's centers in your hands that people who do healing use. There's centers in your feet where you absorb energy from the earth. There's a big center around your spleen that's responsible for a lot of the energy coming into your body. So it's a subject that we could spend days on if you wanted to get into the real nitty-gritty of the details. But essentially this energy is pouring in through these centers and it connects to the physical body at the level of the glands. So each chakra is associated with a different gland in the physical body. Now the energy is distributed through the physical body along energy lines called meridians. And these are the energy lines that are worked with in Chinese medicine and acupuncture and acupressure. Many vibrational medicines work to clear meridians. And these are energy lines. We can't see them, but we definitely can experience when they're blocked. And certainly if you've ever had an experience where it's suddenly been unblocked, there's quite a profound change in the feel of the energy in your body. So this is not the same energy as you get from food. It's not metabolic energy. So it's not energy that's coming from digesting food. It's the reason we call it, it's your subtle energy. So it's a different type of energy. It's more, you'd think of it more as your vitality. And what it does is it's traveling through the body in all of these meridians. And these energy pathways get blocked. And often they are blocked. This is where the mind comes in. So often the blockages are emotional. When we don't deal with some emotional issue or aspect in our life, that energy actually gets stuck in our energy field, in our energy pathways, and eventually can start to affect our physical health. So a lot of the practices that we do help to keep these pathways clear. So for example, the yoga that we do works specifically on energy block release. So it's specifically designed to keep these pathways clear. And that's why people who practice yoga tend to have quite high vitality. Things like Qigong, things like Tai Chi, many different ancient practices are used to clear these energy pathways. I'm going to talk more toward the end of the talk on real practical, how do they block, how do you clear them? Really practical advice, if you like. I just want to give an overview so you sort of understand what I'm talking about. And then in the spine, associated, so you have this energy within your body, this kundalini energy, if you like, this that sits in the very base chakra, and you have energy that moves through nadis, and these are like two pathways that travel up the spine. They're called the Ida and the Pingala. They're the masculine and the feminine, if you like, and each time they cross at a chakra, and they cause the spin of that chakra. So they weave up the spine, and they terminate right up here, just at the top of your nose. And that's why when we do yoga practices where there's a breathing or a focus here, we're working with keeping those pathways clear. And when the Ida and the Pingala come into balance, you have a beautiful channel that works, the energy that flows through all of the major chakras, called the Satsuma, and it becomes nice and clear and open. So the main thing to understand from this energy body, this sort of like field that that you can sometimes see, you can certainly sense around a person. It's like you have your physical body, and then sort of it's almost like overlaying that body is your etheric or energy body. And then there's an emotional body, and your mental body or your mind is actually found in this aura as well. So your aura would be the sum total of your vitality, your energy body, all of your emotions at that point in time. So right here and now, your aura will be broadcasting how you're feeling and what's going on in your mind. Now, some of that will be consciously what's going on in your mind, and some of it will be unconscious, things that's coming through that you're not so aware of. So this is, if you were to look at the aura, you're seeing all of those aspects of you. So when someone feels your energy body, if you like, so if a person walks into the room, we get a feeling for how they are. Okay, our energy is reading their energy, if you like, or quite often it's an intuitive sense. You've got a lot of ways that you read energy. When that person walks in the room, you might think, oh, they're not feeling too good, or they're really angry, or what's up with them? And you say, you okay? What's up? And they go, I'm fine. And you're like, No, you're not fine. And you are picking up what they're broadcasting, if you like. So they may say they're fine, but you know they're not. That's you reading their energy. That's you picking up on what's in their energy body. So the sum total of their vitality, of their emotional state, their mental state, and their physical health, if you like, their whole being. So we exchange energy with all living things all the time. So your energy body is connected to the energy body of everything. This is where we take in energy from nature, and we're connected, we're giving out energy. And whenever we come up in contact with someone, or it doesn't even have to be geographical contact, we are exchanging energy. We're reading energy, we're exchanging energy with other living things. This is why plants that are cared for often thrive. This is when you connect with animals, you are exchanging energy. And animals are really good at reading our energy. And anyone who, especially horses, especially dogs, really good at picking up, cats sometimes, really good at picking up on your emotional state. They read your energy. And you sort of, oh, he knows how I feel. Yeah, they do. They are reading your energy. So when two people are in love, for example, they are pouring heart energy from one heart chakra to the other person's heart chakra. And when someone floods your heart chakra with energy, it feels really good. And that's that feeling that all the songs write about of being in love. When you are in conflict with someone, quite often there's a battle for energy. And if there's any kind of control games or power or manipulation or anything like that going on, usually there's a battle for energy. If you feel deflated, if you feel exhausted after being with someone, if you feel really negative after spending time with someone, chances are they've been draining your energy. So we're going to talk a little bit briefly about how you can keep this vitality nice and high, how you can keep this vibration. I would say it's the sum total of how you resonate, how you're vibrating at any given moment in time. So I want to talk a little bit, because the subtle energy comes into the body and connects at the glands, it really affects the endocrine system. So that's your hormonal system, your whole glandular system. And it also really affects your immune system. So the amount of vitality that you have affects your immunity. So the more vitality you have, the better your immunity is. And then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that deplete your vitality and some of the things that you can do to keep it high. Now, probably the number one thing that depletes your vitality and therefore can affect your physical health. Because remember, with your physical health, depending how much energy is circulating in your body, that keeps your organs, it keeps everything really healthy, it keeps everything young and vital and working well. Okay, so it's said that if a person's energy body is depleted for any length of time, the result will be physical dis-ease. So when one of the things that depletes your vitality or your energy body the most is fear, it's worry, it's anxiety. And it doesn't even have to be coming from your thoughts on the inside. It can be a collective fear. So this is a situation we're in at the moment where there is a lot of fear. There's a lot of people who are fearful. There's a lot of people who are uncertain. They're worried, not just about this virus, but they're worried about their livelihood. They're worried about whether life's ever going to go back to normal. They're worried. And so there's collectively, there's a lot of fear around at the moment. And that can deplete people's vitality and their energy, and therefore their immune systems, quite quickly. So you've got to teach yourself, and you've got to be strong and resist this collective fear. And this is why things like not watching the news every hour of the day, because you're just getting a dose of that depleting, that vitality depleting information that's going to take a very strong mind not to be pulled down by that. So you might choose to just look at information sources and just look at them once a day or something like that. You may choose not to be in contact with people that you know are really fearful or freaking out, or you might decide that you're going to help them. You're going to suggest some meditations and some relaxations and some things they can do to help raise their vibration, to return to a place where especially their heart is resonating with love and with courage again. So the negative emotions. So if someone is very angry, it depletes their vitality. They may feel like they're full of power, but in terms of their health, it actually depletes their vitality. If you're living in a situation of conflict, so if there's a lot of conflict in your home, if there's a constant underlying simmering conflict, even if it's never coming to the surface, this will deplete your vitality over time. And this is where stress comes in. So sometimes stress in people's lives, sometimes it's external, it's created by external factors that we can't really do anything about. We can choose how we respond to those, and that will affect our vitality. So same situation, two different people could respond quite differently. It could affect their energy body, their vitality, their health quite differently. But by far the majority of stress comes from inside. So it's what I would call internal stress. And that comes from the sort of repeated thought patterns. And you'll all recognize you'll have certain thought loops you get into, and you know you're getting into a negative thought loop, and it's probably based on some stuff from the past, probably unresolved stuff or childhood stuff. That means that you respond to the world in a certain way, and these patterns just run in your mind and create the body thinks it's in a survival situation and goes into that stress response physically. So stress depletes your vitality. Living in a conflict, or even if there's it's a passive aggressive sort of a conflict, you know, in some relationships or some families, there's things that are just not said, but they're there. That sort of environment can really deplete energy. Not dealing with old emotional issues. So that can really deplete your vitality. And quite often, life will bring up those emotional issues for you to resolve and give you an opportunity to either deal with it the way you always have and push it back down because you don't want to go there, you don't want to feel like that, you don't want to go near that issue. Or it'll give you an opportunity to maybe deal with that issue, to move through it, to move to a place of acceptance, to shift the energy out of your energy field, to forgive and heal. And this is why when we go through a process of healing those often unconscious issues or wounds or patterns that are there in our energy body, our vitality increases. And this is where practices like the yoga, like meditation, they gently go in there and find what's in the unconscious that needs to come up for your healing. So it's sort of like shining a torch into the darkness of your unconscious to see what needs resolving. So some of the other things that deplete your vitality are lack of boundaries. When you don't have clear boundaries with other people about what's okay for you and what isn't. because this is getting into, you know, if you say yes, but you really want to say no, that's going to deplete your energy, because you're not being true to who you are. You're not being true to yourself. So quite often people who are people pleasers or have been brought up that not having boundaries was their mechanism of dealing with their family situation, or they may have had someone in their family who was quite dominant or controlling or narcissistic. Quite often these boundary issues will mean that there's almost like a leakage in their energy, and they're very vulnerable to people who take energy, or who use power over to deplete energy, to take energy off other people. They're very vulnerable to that sort of person, because some people, I mean, we can all recharge our energy. Okay, so we can all be responsible for our own vitality and recharge our own energy. And things like when you go to yoga, when you spend time out in nature, when you go for a walk in nature and you properly connect, that recharges your energy. Things like meditation, just relaxation, anything that you feel relaxed and calm and more yourself afterwards is recharging your energy. A real I suppose indicator of your vitality is how true you are being to who you are. Are you being your true authentic self, or are you being who other people want you to be? Are you being very adaptable and you're being the self that's required at the moment? So some people are very good at recharging their own energy. Other people recharge by taking others' energy. And it's not anything that they even know they're doing. Quite often it can be family patterns. Quite often, yeah, like I say, they don't even know they're doing it. And so if you can take responsibility for recharging your energy, it means that you start to put in place clear boundaries that say, yes, that's okay for me. No, that isn't. And there's the line. Up to that line's okay. Beyond that line isn't okay. And that will protect your energy. So a person's behavior is respectful to here. No, that's disrespectful. I walk away. I don't stay in that situation. Do you see how that protects your energy? Because if you are drawing that line, they can't take your energy. You're protecting your energy. So some of the other things, bullying drains energy. Some of the other things in our environment that drain our energy, there's a lot of studies coming out that the electromagnetic radiation that comes from all our computer screens, our television, comes from the devices within our house, drains our energy. And you can get various magnets, and you can use various crystals to offset that. Pollution. So if you live in a very polluted environment, or you're eating food that's polluted, or drinking water that's polluted, that drains your vitality. And it's one of the reasons people who are living in an impoverished way often have very poor immune function. There's a real question about whether this 5G that they're talking about rolling out. A lot of scientists have done studies that are saying it's going to really negatively affect our energy field. And this is why people are concerned about this. So things like, you know, we already, everywhere you go now, you're exposed to Wi-Fi, you're exposed to 4G. People are concerned about the rollout of 5G and what it's going to do to our health. Cities, especially cities where people are living in a very crowded way, and there's not a lot of greenery, there's not a lot of parks, there's not a lot of wildlife, can be places that really drain your energy. Sometimes being in crowds drains your energy. You'll know situations, like I think I've said to you, I'm no good at shopping. As soon as I go into a place that has fluorescent lights, air conditioning, and lots excuse me, lots of people who are in that kind of shopping frame of mind, I find it exhausting. I can last an hour before I have to get out of there. It just drains my energy. Whereas if I go out walking in the hills, in the mountains, it doesn't drain my energy in the slightest. Yes, it'll use my physical energy, but it revitalizes my subtle energy. And so can you sort of see the difference there? Okay. So some of the ways that you can keep your vitality high: by eating high vibrational energy foods. So the quicker a food gets from the soil or the tree or the production to you, the higher its vibrational energy. The less chemicals used in that food, the higher its vibrational energy. So this is one of the reasons for organic. It actually helps to keep your energy field, because all of the food has an energy field. And so if you're eating food with a higher vibrational energy, it raises your vibrational energy. Food made with love compared to food that's processed in a factory. And this is why homemade food has a higher vibrational energy. It's better for us. Same apple pie. Buy it from a shop, mum makes it. This one will raise your subtle energy, your vibrational energy much more, because of the love that's come from the heart chakra of the person who's cooking the food has gone into that food. And then you eat that food and take in that energy. Things like getting enough sleep. Okay, sleep is when you really, the body restores, not just the physical body, but everything is restored. If you've been in a negative energy situation, having a shower, cleansing in a river, any kind of running water, or if you're having a bath, put natural salt, any kind of sea salt, Himalayan salt in that bath will just revitalize your energy field. And you'll know that if you've been somewhere and you come home and you just think, oh, I feel horrible, you have a shower and it's shifted. You feel better. That's working on your energy, your vitality. Turning your shower to cold at the end can really stimulate your vitality, can clear that energy, and really helps with your immune system. Once you get used to it, you won't want to have a shower without doing that, believe it or not. Things like using essential oils and burners in your home, that raises the vibrational energy. Things like using crystals and salt lamps, these help to keep the energy in your home clear and a high vibration. And you'll know when you walk into someone's home where the energy is good, you can feel it. Just feel, oh yeah, the energy is really good here. Things like dealing with those old emotional issues as they come up, not just pushing them back, but actually, no, actually I'm going to deal with this now. I want to come to a place where I have accepted, forgiven, and healed from this. So it's no longer an issue. Meditation, and this is why daily meditation is so powerful for keeping your energy high. Things like yoga, qigong, tai chi, being in nature, and especially in nature, the interface between land and water, the chi or the prana, the subtle energy is really high. So when you walk along the beach, right at the edge of the waves, the energy is amazing. When you're following a path through a woods next to a stream, the energy is really, really high in those places. Anything that relaxes your nervous system, so relaxations, anything that just calms you down and you start feeling like yourself. But probably the most important thing is being true to yourself, being authentic. living a life that really nourishes you, in which you get to be who you are. You get to say, yes, that's okay for me, and no, that's not okay for me. And you get to express who you are, because when you're doing that, that means the energy is flowing. The energy is flowing in from the world and flowing out into the world. So I'm going to leave that now. Hopefully that's given you some good ideas about maybe things you can do in your life to just keep your energy high. And I've put there's lots of resources on my website, and I've put a few things on Facebook for dealing with especially that fear and worry at the moment. And that's where that exercise, that heart coherence breathing, can really make a difference. Just returning to love, returning to a place where you feel calm, strong and centered makes a huge difference. Right, what I want to do now is we'll go into the meditation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a picture up on the screen. I'll just be off in the corner, just so that seeing everyone moving is not distracting in the meditation. And what we'll do is we'll begin the meditation by all repeating the affirmation of love. And this is just an affirmation that will bind us as a group and bring us into the heart space of our heart chakra, and especially a universal love. And then we'll go through a meditation. And this is going to be a meditation not just for your individual benefit, but one in which we're sending out really good energy, really good vibrational energy and intention out into the world. And when we combine to do this, it has a really positive effect. And then at the end, if you're quite happy to, I'll put the great invocation up on the screen, the prayer that was given out that helps to raise the vibrational energy, if you like, of all of mankind and of the planet. And we can, both these affirmations, these prayers, if you can say it to yourself out loud, or you can say it to yourself silently. But the idea, the power is that you have the intention of coming together in the group. Right. Oops. Go there. Okay. So just settle yourself in your chair. You want to be upright but not rigid. Feet on the floor if you can. Take a nice deep breath in. Lift your shoulders and relax. Now just for a moment, close your eyes. And just imagine that as a group we're coming together. So just in your heart, just feel like you're joining the others in the group. And now opening your eyes, if we just say the affirmation of love. So in the center of all love, I stand. From that center, I, the soul, will outward move. From that center, I, the one who serves, will work. May the love of the divine self be shed abroad in my heart, through my group, and throughout the world. Now gently close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. And as you breathe out, just feel your body begin to relax. So I want to bring us into the present moment. So just notice your body sitting on the chair. Notice the feel of the clothes on your skin. Imagine you're sending a connection down through your feet or through the base of your spine down into the energy of the earth under the building in which you are. Now just notice any sounds in this moment. Just let them come in. Now gently take your awareness to the breath and just watching your breath come into your body, watching the breath leave. Just letting the breath get a little deeper. And just maintain this gentle focus on the breath. If your mind becomes distracted, as soon as you realize, just come back to the breath. Come back without thoughts of criticism or judgment. So keep your focus on the breath until you feel it taking you into a quiet place inside. Let the breath guide you down into this stillness, this peace. As thoughts arise, just allow them to arise in your mind, pass through your mind, and come back to the breath. I want you to bring your focus to the area of the center of your chest and just breathe into your heart center. Imagine that your heart is filling with love, with light, and with gratitude. Continue to just breathe love and light into your heart. And imagine your heart is connecting with the very highest aspect of you, your soul, your higher self. I want you to imagine at the center of your chest a beautiful lotus blossom. And this lotus flower is just a bud, but as you breathe in the light and the love, it is slowly opening. And it's opening to reveal 6 perfectly formed, beautiful petals. There's a feeling of space and of lightness. Now I want you to imagine that energy is pouring down through your crown chakra right at the top of your head. It's pouring down through your entire energy system, so right through all of the 7 major chakras and all of those meridian lines of energy. It's filling your entire physical body with a pure white light, or you can use gold light, or you might prefer a violet purple, whichever resonates most with you. So the heart is like a vessel to receive this light and distribute it around the rest of the body. So with each breath, your body is filling with more love and more light. Now I want you to imagine that this light is flowing out into the energy field, the energy body, the aura that surrounds your body. This light is purifying and cleansing and healing your physical body. It's clearing any blockages in your energy pathways. It is strengthening your immune system, calming your emotions, strengthening your mind. Now imagine that this light is flowing out into your home. So that all who reside with you are positively affected by this light, lifting their vibration. Now imagine this light is flowing out into your neighborhood. into your community. I want you to imagine that as a group, all of our lights are working together. As we start to fill this country with light. And then as we fill this country with light, it flows out to fill this part of the world. Gradually flowing out to all parts of the world. So this light from our group joins the light of many groups meditating in this way. And we surround our entire planet with light that is purifying, healing, strengthening, bringing calm and peace. I want you to imagine that you can look down upon our planet Earth from space. And you see this beautiful blue-green planet. And around it you see this beautiful light surrounding the whole planet like an aura. And as we breathe, so this aura grows, becomes stronger. And then see this light flowing down into the hearts and minds of all of mankind, to all who are open to receiving this light. See it flowing down to heal Gaia herself, to heal the planet, the plants, the animals. And now see dotted all around the globe, beautiful bright sparks of light where people are meditating. People are working for others. People are building right relations. See this light bringing peace, goodwill, and right relations between all mankind. Lifting our awareness, lifting our collective consciousness, so that we can live in peace and harmony with all. Hold this energy and let it radiate out. And now gently open your eyes, and on your computer screen you'll see the words for the great invocation. So repeat them silently or aloud, but we'll repeat them together, pausing between each stanza just to imagine the words as they play out. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Ooh. Ooh. And now gently draw your energy back into your own energy field. Take a nice deep breath in. And just coming back into the room, opening your eyes when you're ready. It's a couple of minutes to 8, so I'm going to pause the meeting here and we'll come back in 5 minutes so that you've got the chance, if you want to, go and open your front door and clap to show your appreciation for all the hardworking NHS care workers and staff. So I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Welcome back. What I'm going to do for this part of the session is open it up to you guys. So if you have any questions for me or any comments, you can either put them as a message in the chat. So just click on chat and you can type. Or if you'd like to speak, just put your hand up and or let me know in the chat, and then click on your microphone, unmute your microphone, and you can speak. So has anyone got any questions about your energy body and your health? Maybe start there. You're going to be quiet on me today. Oh, Bernie. So Bernie, if you unmute your microphone. Yeah.
Right, can you hear me now?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, great, yeah. Yeah, that was very interesting, Teresa, what you're saying about increasing your energy levels. Because I know it's necessary for people to self-isolate, especially me and my partner. I'm 16, got diabetes, and my partner, 86, and only has heart failure, so we have to self-isolate. But I feel sometimes it's counterproductive, because what you're saying about the immune system, if you're fearful and anxious, it's going to decrease your immune system and make you more liable to get the virus.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a contradiction, and I just want to know where to strike this balance between isolation and not getting fearful and anxious, which I'm trying my best not to, with positive thinking and CBT and meditation. I'm just interested in any comments there, please, Teresa.
Yeah. No, really good comment. And I think a lot of people will be experiencing this, because you're right. On the one hand, you know, we are social animals, and part of what keeps us healthy is being with other people and interacting and connecting with other people. And that feeling of connection is very much about the heart. And so if people are feeling if it's one thing to be in isolation, it's another thing to feel isolated. Do you see the
Yes.
difference?
Yes,
So if you're in isolation and you're still feeling connected to people through your computer, through your phone, through if you've got people in the house with you, that's really important. It's really important to keep that connection, especially heartfelt, especially, you know, sharing really inspiring pieces of news, sharing really good news, sharing things that are funny. Even if you're going to watch things on telly or you're going to read a book, positive, funny, uplifting types of things will really help. If you're isolating on your own, it's a lot harder. If you haven't got other people in the house, because people naturally in a house, you know, we feel the mood of the people we're around, and if someone starts going down, typically those who are around them, who care about them, will start lifting them up. You know, it's just a hand on the shoulder, just, you're all right, do you want a cup of tea? You know, those little caring things that people do for each other. So if you're isolating on your own, it's much more difficult, because if you start spiraling down, you've got to get on the phone, then ring your friends, you've got to connect. And the other thing about fear is, if you speak it, if you say it out loud, it helps. It's not as scary. It's when we keep it internalized, and it starts going around an internal mental loop, you know, the fearful, worrying thoughts, the body starts getting tense and fearful, more fearful thoughts, and we get into this horrible spiral when we can wind up with literally an anxiety attack. So isolating people does have the risk of depleting their immune system, but this is where there's lots of people working on online and on social media, and, you know, positive things for people to do, still doing your exercise classes, still connecting with people, still practicing your meditation. You know, you've almost got to take responsibility and saying, okay, I'm going to create this really strong positive bubble around myself. I'm not going to let the collective fear affect me too much, but I'm not going to shut off to people either. So you're right where you say we've got to strike a balance between the two. And it's not easy. And you'll find the longer we're in isolation, the harder it will get. It's almost like people are really buoyed up. Oh, I'm on holiday for that first week or two. And then when people have been in isolation for a little bit longer, it will get harder. And that's where we need each other. That's where you've got to say out loud, it's getting to me. It's starting to get to me. Ring someone. You know, the things that, you know, I find if it's starting to get to me, I go outside, whatever the weather. If I can get outside and be outside in nature, and I just start watching what a little bird is doing, or I just look at the sky, or I have a pond and there's all sorts going on in there, and I just find myself sitting there watching what's going on in nature, and it just brings it all down. It can be just, you know, get on your computer and look at some of the photos of your family. If you've got photos in your house of your family, just focus on those you care about. Find some almost like cues that, you know, are things that will lift you. Some people that will be going to the fridge and getting some chocolate. Do you know what I mean? If that's what it takes to lift your vibration and feel good, that's what it takes. If you're on your own, as soon as you feel yourself heading down, reach out to other people. The other thing you can do is you just start writing down how you feel. And if you just write like a stream of consciousness, not editing it at all, you'll find that the first page you probably can screw up and throw away, because it'll be a lot of ego, fear and doubt and everything. But if you keep writing, your higher self will start coming through. And you'll start writing such profound, wise counseling to yourself. And you just keep writing and just keep writing. And you'll find you'll come to a place of love. So you will have started writing from fear, and you'll return to love if you just keep that stream of consciousness. You just sort of open up and say, this is how I'm feeling. I'm full of fear. I'm going to write it out. I'm going to be really honest about how I'm feeling. And it's when we try and pretend we're okay when we're not, that's the dangerous bit, if you like. That's when you're not being authentic. That will deplete your energy and your vibration, because you're pretending you're okay, and you can have a whole household of people pretending to be okay, and then quite often a child, someone innocent, will just come and say what everybody's not saying, and poof, the tension's gone. It's been spoken. It's out there. It's also the throat chakra. You know, this virus is really this part of your body. This is where it's affecting it. To me, I believe it's opening hearts. It's I was talking to Linda the other day, and I was saying I think it's to do with grief. It's a massive heart opening that's occurring worldwide, mankind wide. And so if you can keep the energy of your heart center open, and you can keep in your heart, centered in your heart, and you can keep your throat strong. And the throat is about truthful communication. It's about speaking your truth, humming, singing. If you feel yourself going down, stick on some music and dance around the room, because you can't stay down when you're moving in a way that you're expressing who you are to music that you love. Do you see what I mean? And so I think in some ways it's putting us through a bit of a trial, collectively and individually and family wise, whoever you're isolating with. You know, it's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of family conflict come bubbling up. There's going to be a lot of relationship issues come bubbling up for our attention, and nowhere to escape from them. So in terms of those emotional issues blocking our energy, I believe that this isolation time is going to be a time of healing. It's going to be a time of reflection, of thinking about how we're living and how we want to live after this time. And it's also going to be very healing, in that it's going to bring up a lot of things for our attention. And so you've just got to be willing to just be in the moment. What is required of me right here and now? Not worrying about what's gone, not projecting, oh, what if, right here and now. What do I need to deal with? And it's like, I can feel that I'm getting down. Okay, what do you normally do when you start feeling down? Because we all have what we like to do. I like to sing. I like to dance. If I'm feeling down, I like to get out and just watch nature. Those things lift me. Certain friends I would ring, other friends I would not ring. Do you see what I mean? I'm making a clear choice there, and that's an authentic choice, and that's fine. I might choose not to take a phone call from someone who I know is going to pull me even further down, and I might choose to take, you know, I've got a friend, wonderful friend, who he knows because I haven't been very well with this virus, and he just sends me funny videos, several of them every day. And I know that if I open whatever William has sent me, they're going to make me laugh, because that's the other thing. Laughter really raises our vibration. It's one of the reasons children's vibrations, they have so much more vitality than adults, because they laugh much more than we do. So, you know, put something funny on telly, put one of the old comedies on that you love. And so it really is, it's taking responsibility for the state you're in, and recognizing if that state is changing, and then doing something about it. And, you know, if you can master this in isolation, you can master this in life. Do you see what I mean?
I think it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to improve heal ourselves. Totally. And I also think it's a great opportunity, because we're always saying we're busy and we're frenzied, and now we've got more time on our hands. We can use that time constructively and spiritually to grow. And I'm going to sort out my spare room to make a therapy room. I'm going to catch up with some writing and research, tidy the house, because I'm very untidy. So I'm trying to, and also because we live near the coast, we live between Crosby and Waterloo, so I can see the Welsh mountains. Fantastic.
Oh, lovely.
and the sunsets are great. So that really helps. Yeah. So thanks, Teresa. That really resonate with what you're saying.
Sunset and sunrise, the energy is very, very powerful. The energy in the environment, it's what's called sattvic energy. And so just watching the sunrise, watching the sunset, watching anything that's naturally occurring. Just go out, look at the moon.
The moon. Oh, could I do the full moon healing? Yeah, I love that, the full moon. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Does anybody else want to share anything? Yeah.
If you want to share, just unmute your microphone and you can join in. Has anyone else got any other questions or queries? Any comments? No? Do you feel like what I've given you is giving you some tools? It's helping. It's giving you some ideas on how you can take responsibility for your own energy, for your own vitality. I mean, for me, for example, it's been a reflective time because I caught this virus quite quickly. It's like, okay, I do all this yoga and meditation and I eat really well. And, you know, okay, what was going on with my vitality that my immune system was so low? And I've just looked at, I know exactly what was going on and why, but it's given me a chance to reflect on that and say, okay, these are the areas in my life that got to change. So it's a good opportunity to do that. That's part of the healing. Great.
Better now, Teresa. How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling a lot better. I mean, you can probably hear it. It's a little bit here.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
But no, a lot better. I've just got to be careful with my energy. If I can't do too much, but that's good for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's a learning curve, isn't it?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, it's fantastic what you've said. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, it's good. And coming together like this, where you can talk with like-minded people and connect.
Exactly.
And
that's what I
meditate.
miss. Yeah, I miss that very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Kirsty, very interesting and helpful. Thank you for your support. You are most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Right. Well, I'm going to end the session there, and we'll have another session next Thursday. I'm not sure what the topic is yet, but I will email you and let you know. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Yeah, thank you. Bless you. Thanks, Teresa.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.